We have a potential image leak for Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield. This is an image leak for the starter Pokemon and their next evolutions. So that would be the evolutions of Grookey, Scorbunny, and Sabo. We have their mid-evolutions and their final evolutions here. This is a image leak, but it's also a drawing leak. So that's the thing with Pokemon leaks a lot of times. They are drawings, concept art, that sort of thing. So those are really hard to say whether or not they're real or fake. Personally, I'm not really buying this one, I'll say that outright, but these are pretty good, so I figured I'd give them, I'd highlight them in a video because they are pretty good. There's the potential for these to be the final evolutions here. Okay, so let's take a look at each of these Pokemon. I'm going to start with the Sabo evolutions. So here we have a drawing of Sabo's second evolution and third evolution. The second evolution really continues the chameleon look. We have the tail getting longer and curling. We have like a spike on the nose, so that's a lot of chameleon-like features continuing there. Then the third and final evolution appears to have almost like a helmet look to the head. It almost has like a siege tower quality to it with the flag going off the top there. And it looks like the crest, the like chameleon's fin crest thing on the head has kind of like flopped over to the side. So I don't know if it would be up at other times, and this particular drawing just has it off to the side. And then on the chest there's like a cross shape. So that's almost like an insignia or an emblem, which would be very fitting for this kind of knight or, medieval look that this creature has. I do find it a little strange that this final evolution seems to have lost a lot of the qualities and a lot of the direction that the first two creatures have. So Sabo has, the Sabo look, but then the second one continues with the yellow. The tail just kind of just looks like a bigger, more evolved Sabo, whereas the third one adds like the red and black theme. So it's definitely different. A lot more spikes on the tail. The tail also isn't totally curled up now. It's just kind of curled at the very end. So it is a very different design. This does, of course, sometimes happen with Pokemon, especially starter Pokemon, where the final evolution does kind of divulge from the last two. Okay, so next up, let's look at Scorbunny's supposed leaked second and final stage evolution. So the second stage of Scorbunny looks very much so like the original stage of Scorbunny, except it gains some things. The that thing that was sort of around its neck sort of becomes a full like handkerchief. We still have the band-aid or whatever that's supposed to be over the nose. The ears are now on fire, which I think is a pretty cool design. We have a bit more of the hair curling around for whiskers, and there's sort of a cartoonish gloves almost happening here. And then the final stage here, once again, loses some of the qualities of the second stage. We have fire now on the feet, which was highlighted with Scorbunny when the original trailer was shown. And then we have some, almost again, knight armor. We have kind of a helmet-looking shape. The band-aid, or whatever that square is above the nose in the last two evolutions, now becomes like the face cap of a helmet. And the freckles on the side of his face sort of look like the air holes that would be on the side of a helmet. The final evolution has puffy shoulders and what appears to be puffy fluff for kind of like the legs, which would fit with some medieval style clothing. And then we have a pretty cool fin on the back, which kind of highlights how fast this creature is. The whole thing has a very aerodynamic design, and just the look and pose of the creature looks like we're really emphasizing the speed of Scorbunny's final evolution here. Okay, and then finally we're going to look at Grookey's supposed, possibly leaked second and final stage evolution here. Okay, so it appears Grookey's second stage has the eyes kind of covered by what appears to be kind of hair. However, it's also like in the shape of a leaf, so that's kind of cool. It still has a stick, though it's no longer small and in the hair. It looks a little longer, and it now looks like it has sort of mock armor that it's made out of a piece of wood that it's wrapped around the front of its body. It looks like it has a stump of wood for a tail, and yeah, it just kind of keeps the general monkey theme with being a little bigger, and this does kind of have that British rocker look. I know a lot of people thought that Grookey might have a groove monkey, groovy, might be music themed in some way, or specifically like UK music themed. So this does sort of have a rock and roll teenager kind of look to it. With the hairdo and continuing to have the stick, it does look like it's about the length of what could be a drumstick, though I feel like the armor and the way it's holding the stick is a little more like it is combative. It looks almost like it's playing as a knight. And then Grookey's final stage evolution here looks very interesting. It's a really unique looking helmet design. This looks like sort of something, again, that some English soldiers might have. And then it looks like the whole body is now covered with a bush, again divulging completely from the last two evolutions. It looks like he's holding a leaf in one hand, and then in the other hand he has a long stick that now has a kind of basket hilt guard, sort of like a fencer's épée or rapier, and it has sort of a fencing stance. And then it has some really strange looking like pants. There's like these striped pants that do sort of have a UK feel to them. Again, kind of a different medieval look. It looks like all of these evolve into some form of kind of like a knight of different time periods. And due to Grookey's stance here, I'm getting a very regal, very defined, again, a very fencer-like character. I have heard someone suggest that this stage could be a conductor to keep with the music theme that people are assuming Grookey has, but I have to say, due to the stick sword having that like basket hilt, really looking like a fencer's rapier or épée, I'd have to say this is probably a fencer theme. Okay, so that's all of them. They are really interesting looking, but again, they are just drawings. That's really easy for people to fake. These also really remind me specifically of this one fake leak we had for the Alola starters. That fake leak looked like this, and it was fake. It had a very similar way that the pictures of the drawings were taken. It almost looks like they were printed out and then taken a photo of, and honestly, the art style even reminds me of this fake leak, so this may be coming from the same person. And of note, the final evolutions in that Alola fake leak look vastly different than the second stage and first stage evolutions. So again, that seems to be a theme with these new ones. So I have to say, yeah, it looks like this is probably coming from the same fake leaker. That would be my guess. The final evolutions do appear to have some sort of like medieval knight theme throughout different time periods. So you have different kind of clothing being represented, almost like full plate armor on the Sabo evolution. The Scorbunny one has like the puffy kind of clothing of possibly like the Renaissance period. And then you have Grookey's final evolution having that kind of fencer look, and the helmet almost appears like a foot soldier's helmet. I'm no image expert, but my guess is these are probably fake, but they are really interesting, and just in case they do turn out to be real, I thought I'd get a video up as soon as possible and show them to you guys. So let me know in the comments below what you guys think. So once again, thank you guys for all the subscribes, all the likes. Really helps out the channel. So if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do so, or like the video, or leave a comment, whatever you want. Until next time, have a good one.